going to take you on a journey of your future and what you have in store for you through the wonders of a miracle, literally, a miracle that's happening right now in our world. Matter of fact, you picked a really good time to be born, because it's better now than ever before. We're going to cover that today as we look at this amazing thing called blockchain, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrencies. It's exciting, and well, I'll tell you, I'm so excited like a little kid. We're getting ready for this to show you what's going on, because where we are today, as never before, people have the power to live their lives the way they want, to be able to do things that they could not do before. They were prohibited to. Those who have held you back in the past now are prohibited from doing that with the right technology. We're going to be able to do it in some amazing ways. So good morning, and we are ready to roll here. These enormous opportunities are waiting for you right now, and I'll tell you, we are excited. We're ready to roll, ready to get going in this thing and make it well work for you. Because we look at what it is all about, really. Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies are really about human rights. That's what it is, because it's a way for you to overcome the problems there. It's solving poverty. When we can see what's happening right now, people who were in poverty are now able to empower their lives because they're using crypto, they're using Bitcoin, blockchain in the right way. We're also saying that right now, we're freeing people from that oppression. The greatest oppression is when someone controls your money. I want to do a trade with you, and somebody says, no, you can't do it. They say, no, we're not going to allow that. And we go, now, haha, we can do it anyway. Actually, we have a few more colorful military terms that we use, but you get the idea. And we're creating previously unavailable opportunities right now. This is where we are and what's happening in this exciting world. Remember back in June, just out of curiosity, how many of you were able to attend the original one we had in June, the blockchain Bitcoin? Yes, when I started there, I remember just a few days before I spoke on there, opened the conference there, we had heard announcements that they were hoping that something would happen in a big way that was going to change the world. Well, we're now a few months later, and today, I got to tell you, we are excited because it has happened, and it is reality now. El Salvador is now using Bitcoin as legal tender. I mean, this is nothing short of amazing. It is occurring. That means someone who before would work really hard, send money to their home back in El Salvador for the remittance, that was 25% of what they had. The person back home would get, after it was filtered through all the fees from people like Western Union and others, and then they have to get the cash at a place where the bad guys are standing around, know they're getting cash and want their cut of it as well. Now it goes directly to them. And by using the Lightning Network, hey, we're getting rid of a lot of those fees as well. You see, what this requires of you and me is continuous learning, continuously adapting. I applaud you for putting in the time, the money, and the energy to put your body right here, right now, and learn about what's going on, and to see this, because it's pretty exciting. One of the things that's real big that's happened, I'm going to give you a kind of an overview. My background is as a journalist, and I want to kind of look at the news, what's going on, and show you the ramifications and implications of it. Bitcoin ETF, how many of you heard about that? Every hand in the room's up. Yep. Just a little while ago, actually just a few days ago, we're seeing it. This is giving massive acceptance with Bakkt and MasterCard working together. I mean, this is pretty conventional. MasterCard saying, yep, you can use it to buy and to sell using cryptocurrency with Bakkt. And don't wait, or don't let me get out of here without talking about NFTs. This thing is just flat out exciting. I'm going to spend some time talking about that. And the money-making opportunities are there for you. How many entrepreneurs do we have here? How many? Yeah, I think most of us. I'm real strong in favor of entrepreneurs. I even have my channel is Agorapreneurs. The idea of entrepreneurs who believe in the Agora lifestyle. Peaceful living, voluntary living, exchanging value for value. That's what we're doing. Look at this right here. It says, here's why analysts say Bitcoin ETFs may completely change the structure of the market. They say that analysts still hold some bullish language of view of Bitcoin price, but they also agree that the newly launched BTC ETFs are a game changer. This means the things we've been waiting for a long time is finally here, because we're seeing it right now. We've been trying this for 7 years. Now it is reality. Finally happened Tuesday, October 19th, just a few days ago. And we're saying it's still better, I think, just my personal opinion, to buy and to hold. Now, I'm not giving any financial advice whatsoever. I'm not qualified, but I am giving educational advice. and that is to study and learn. And I like the idea of the hold on for dear life. And we can do that, but even better, you might want to consider earning interest on it, because there's a way you can do that now. I've discovered some ways from our friends at Celsius, so that not only are you hodling, yeah, you're doing that, but you're also making money. How many would like to make some extra money? You know, for not having to do a whole lot except make a wise decision and put it in the right place. Well, I'm going to show you how you can do that in just a bit, because now is the time. Now is the time to make this happen. I had a chance to talk to Charlie Schrapp. Charlie is a pioneer and leader in the field of Bitcoin. I talked to him just the other day. I have a full interview I'm going to release on my channel in just a bit. And listen to what he said, this one clip about right now. We're seeing a lot of change in the world today, and right now is a time unlike any other. Yeah, we hear that a lot, but it really is. And Charlie, tell us why we're seeing now, this year, 2021, as really more profound than ever before.
Over the last 2 years, and going into the next 10 years, the world has finally agreed that everything in the future is going to be a digital asset. Everything is going to be securitized. Everything will be tokenized. Everything from how you operate your coffee machine in the morning to how you pay your mortgage, you're going to be interacting with the blockchain. And the world in the past 2 years has finally agreed to that and understood that and building and investing for the future. This is the time now.
This is the time now. It is happening, and we're seeing it happen. The pandemic, as terrible as it was, brought about an awakening to realize what we could do. And so we're going to take what was negative in a stoic way and turn it into something very positive. But first, let's take a look at how money has come about. I know this helped me as I started thinking about it. When we saw money, it started with barter. Hey, I got some corn, you've got some tomatoes, and I'll give you a couple of ears of corn here for a tomato or two or something like that. And that worked okay, except you said, yeah, but I really want squash. I don't have any squash, but Herb over there might. Well, let's see. Well, what are we going to give Herb? He doesn't need tomatoes or corn, but he needs something else. And so barter worked for a while, but then we decided, okay, maybe if we get some kind of pieces of rocks or something, or stones, and we make something that people would consider valuable, so that I can give you that stone and you give me the tomatoes, and then you can take that stone and go over here and get some squash or whatever else you need. And that worked well, but we realized it wasn't as good, so then we embraced precious metals, gold and silver being the next progression, because we could take that, we could keep it, it relatively held its value. We could use that and give it to someone, and they would accept it. Except, the problem was if you wanted to get a lot of it somewhere, that was a real problem. So they said, okay, we're going to make it easier to do that using paper money, fiat. And they put pictures of people. By the way, that's a $500 bill. Anyone know who that is? William McKinley, that's right. William McKinley. We don't have many of those running around today. Of course, William McKinley's not around either. But we got that, and then you see the others. They use paper. The problem was, though, that governments figured out, oh, really? Well, we could just print some paper, and we got a little bit more money, right? And paper is not money. Though that's a whole other discussion. And then we get into credit and debit. We're using that today, using it extensively. And it still works, but it's being backed by more of the digital money. So we can say, oh, okay, because you go to the bank and you want to make a transfer. I was talking to my Uber driver this morning. He said, well, I want something I can touch. I said, well, wait a minute. If you went to the bank, you wanted to send $1,000 to your friend back home in New York, they wouldn't get $1,000 of paper bills and send it to them. They just make a transfer. Well, that's where we are. And the next step is cryptocurrency. Because with crypto, you hold it in the palm of your hand, literally. And you send the money where you want, when you want. And as long as you know your keys, you're in good shape. And now you can get cash for your crypto. This is something that is blowing me away. I got a chance to talk with Newt Goldstein the other day. He said something that was, well, listen to what he had to say about this. How does that work?
Yeah, it sounds like magic, right? You have let's say a Bitcoin. Let's say Bitcoin is $60,000 and you want to borrow $30,000 from us. What we do is we lock your Bitcoin. You do not earn your weekly rewards on that Bitcoin. It becomes a collateral. And you get $30,000 in cash or stable coins from us. This process can take, a few hours, maybe less, and you get the money in your bank or the stable coins in your account. And from the user's perspective, you have your Bitcoin. It's not just not earning the rewards that you didn't have before, and you have the cash, and no fees. No fees.
That is a pretty good combination. You have your Bitcoin, you have the cash, and no fees. How many think that sounds like a really good deal? You know, really good. Well, here's what I want you to do. My point today is to get more education, learn more. That's where I want you to invest. And what he said is amazing, looking at it. And I'm going to have the entire interview available. It's not there yet. I'm going to do that. I'll be putting it on my Agorapreneurs channel. So you'll be able to take a look at that. As a matter of fact, if you want, see some of you got that, I put together a little QR code. So that'll send you directly over to the channel so you can see it there. Oh, and we have room for a few more subscriptions. So if you want to subscribe, we can work that out for you. No charge to you. You can do that and make it happen. But there's a big requirement. It's not all free. You've got to pay a price. The price is in, well, keeping hold of what you've done. You've got to make a promise. We want you to promise that you will take care of your keys. You say, okay, I will. Well, there's a way you can do that. And what you can do is you actually, well, you change your status a little bit. There's a little phrase and saying that Erica Gemma talks about, BYOB. Why don't you listen to what she says about
Absolutely.
that?
And you know, you talk about that a lot. One of the things I have to smile when I say is you often talk about BYOB. Now, where I grew up out in the country, that meant one thing. That meant you're going to bring your own beer. But you have a whole different take on that. And it relates to what you were just talking about. What is BYOB?
It's be your own bank. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, and that's the thing, Bitcoin really allows you to be your own Swiss bank account. And cryptocurrencies are making that more and more accessible in general. So, this has never been something that's been possible before, but technology has allowed us to get to this point. And I just hope that the people come on board, the right people come on board, to make sure that they're a part of this revolution.
I love it. This is where we are today. You do have to be your own bank, or you can be, and you take responsibility and you can do well. By the way, I was going to mention, she is going to be, I believe, at the PSM Lounge tomorrow, and you'll want to be sure and hear her and what she's got to say. And Nuke Goldstein will be right here tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So when you hear his full presentation, you really want to be here. It's worth getting up for, being here on time for that. Be sure and take in that. And here's another one. You've got an opportunity now to get paid for your podcasting and your video right now. I'll tell you, that is nothing short of, oh my goodness, really good stuff here. And we found out how to do that with a legend in our world, Dave Jackson, the School of Podcasting. He is going to be here talking to you about a tool that lets you, well, he's going to describe it here, how you can get paid for your podcast.
To earn money from your listeners when they say, hey, I really like this podcast. I really like this. And they can give you some Satoshis, those small incremental parts of the Bitcoin. Tell us what this is and how people can start tapping into that.
Yeah, it's using Telegram, the app. It's using the Lightning Network and then a bunch of new podcast apps that you can find at newpodcastapps.com. And the beautiful thing of this is the longer your audience listens, the more money you make. And as you mentioned, there's in these apps now, there's what's called a boost button. So if you kind of think of it, you tip your waiter, things of this nature. So if somebody likes what you're doing, they're like, wow, that was brilliant. They click a button and they can send you as much money as they want.
I like that. They can send you as much money as they want. That means you've got an incentive to be better and better all the time. You want to keep them around. Do it. Dave's going to talk about that. And I understand he is scheduled for 4 p.m. today in the Celsius Lounge. So make a note of it that you get to hear this legend in podcasting who's now helping us over on the crypto side as well. But you've got to get out there and work for it. This stuff is not just going to come to you because you're thinking about it, or just because you read a nice article or something. You've got to do the reps. You got to get in there and make it happen. Get the work done within crypto. And that means studying it regularly, being in groups like this and being involved in what's happening. Because we look at what's happening right now, major things happen. This came out just the other day. Did you see this? I think about 2 days ago. Miami mayor plans to accept the next paycheck entirely in Bitcoin. Francis Suarez. He has had it as a policy that if you work for the city of Miami, you can elect to be paid in Bitcoin if you choose. You don't have to. Now he is going to do this. I love the way he said it here. The mayor said he would prefer to use an app like Bitwage or Strike rather than having the local government convert his fiat paycheck into crypto. I love the way he says it down there in Miami. He wants to make Miami the capital of capital. And I like that. Bringing in there, moving in that direction. And that just says, hey, we didn't see that kind of stuff happening. When you and I would get together in groups like this years ago, they looked at us as kind of weird. And that was true. But it's nevertheless, now the mainstream is embracing what we're doing, and we can do it. Also, did you see this? MasterCard Loyalty now rewarding it plans to allow U.S. partners to offer crypto loyalty rewards. So you're working in that, and this is MasterCard. I mean, this is not like some goofy small bank out in outer Lvovia, or so wherever that might be. MasterCard is now going to enable merchants on its network to offer crypto products and services. This is amazing. When we see that happening, it's really something. And then Walmart is going to install 8,000 Bitcoin ATMs across the US. To me, that is amazing because more than anything, it's telling the world, hey, this is legit. There are opportunities now as never before. When I stood on the stage in Orlando at a Bitcoin blockchain summit in June, it was good, but it's even better now. We're seeing this happen. I'll tell you, it is just exciting. I'm like a little kid. And here, this, AMC is going to accept crypto. AMC gets hyperactive about crypto. The CEO says it may issue its own coin. That AMC, the theater chain, boss said there are many reasons why the company would issue its own cryptocurrency. They see it's ideal, an ideal environment for what they're doing. As a matter of fact, he did a little poll I thought was kind of interesting. We look at what he did. He sent a poll out on Twitter. He said, I want to hear your opinion via this Twitter poll by the year-end 2021, as in next month. AMC will take Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash for online payments. I hear from many on my Twitter feed we should accept Dogecoin. Do you think AMC should explore Dogecoin? And look at the results. 68% said yes, for sure, do it. Followed by 16% was no, wasted effort. Okay, there we are. But I think either way, what's happening now is the mainstream world is getting to where you and I have been. And the FDIC, yeah, that FDIC, U.S. regulators are exploring policy for banks to handle crypto. So the banks are now looking at doing this and handling it, working with crypto. Just the fact they're looking at it says, oh my goodness, this is really, really something. And how many of you know about Tom Brady? Some of you have heard of Tom Brady, right? Yeah. Well, Tom scored his 600th football touchdown. He threw it to, was it Mike Evans? Threw that, Mike took it and handed it over to a guy named Byron Kennedy. Byron Kennedy, a little kid. Well, they didn't know the significance of it at that time. But Byron went ahead and gave it back to him. And Tom said, well, we'll give you a couple of jerseys, thank you. He thought, yeah, we can do a little bit better. So Tom Brady, again, showed what Bitcoin can do and gave Byron Kennedy a full Bitcoin. That is something. I mean, to see that kind of thing happening. So now, you see what is happening with all of this? It's mainstream. We are now in the mainstream, not something out there. And we've got these NFTs. Oh my goodness. Woo. By the way, don't you love the way she did that? I think that's great. I don't know who she is, but I love her already. And I think the NFTs are really going strong when we do the non-fungible tokens. I've only got a few minutes left here. And I want to share with you how they are unique, they're rare, and they're also invisible. So we're seeing some real possibilities here. What can you use these for? Well, let's see. Digital art, music. I am so thrilled about this, that musicians will be compensated for what they should be. Songwriters, it can all be written into the contract. Pictures, you got these pictures, you can do a lot. Video, event tickets, a real world asset, yeah, we can do that too. Or opportunity for an in-person meeting. How many of you are coaches? You do consulting, you got some expertise. Something. You can do this and have these as NFTs that you sell to people. They'll want to be with you. And opportunity for virtual meetings. There's all kinds of opportunities with NFTs. I'm going to encourage you to get into it and study it. Like our website. Here's my website there. We kind of had that before. It's like that I own, terrybrock.com. You own the website you have. And now we're doing it, and we're going to see some real strong benefits here. These are going to give us the ability so that it's transferable. You own it, but you can transfer it to someone else if you choose to. And here's the best part. It's blockchain registered authenticity. Yeah, baby. This means you got it and you own it. We've got the blockchain. And by the way, Adobe is saying, yeah, we endorse this as well. They have now built into their Photoshop as a tool, non-fungible token system with Prepare as NFT. Adobe has got that. So now we're going to see more and more of this. So right now, my friends, it's time to get ready. The celebrities are celebrating this in a huge way right now. There was an article in the Wall Street Journal just last week about Beeple, the guy that sold the $69 million NFT before. He's doing another one now. He only made 15 million on that one. But I think he's going to squeak by. And I think this is great. But he said something here that is for you and me today. Because Mike Winkleman, by the way, is what his name really is, on that, he learned new skills. There was a lot that he didn't know about this. And so he took time, money, and energy to learn that. I'm going to submit to you, my brothers and sisters, you can do some many things right now. Discipline to learn, but get in there and learn market valued skills. Something that the market says, hey, we really want to know that. We want to know how to do this, and what we can do, and how we can make this happen. So those kind of things are going to help you. And I want you to embrace the moment and not be one of the almosts.
History is filled with almosts. With those who almost adventured, who almost achieved, but ultimately, for them it proved to be too much. Then there are others